Trigger warning, if you are sensitive to any of these topics, please click off the video. Thank you very much. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Xeno, the personification of a cry for help, and we are here with the Bygones. Now, this is an entry from the 2025 November Game Jam, the same Game Jam that brought us 3 Days to Live, Nepenthes, and the album of Ransom Welts. And this is created by the same team who is currently doing Silverstone. And I've been meaning to get to this one for quite a while now. That and Down the River's Edge, I believe that's what the other one was called. I should get to that one as well. Now, I want to be real transparent with y'all. This wasn't the visual novel I had in mind for this week. In fact, I was actually going to play the new Xeno update, and I did record my first part of it. But then something happened. For some reason, I guess it didn't save the actual visual novel footage. It only saved the video of my sprite. So I had to start all over again. So that's really frustrating. So I decided to play something else to calm myself down from it and then go back to it. So I'm gonna have to re-record that video again, which sucks because I like these videos because they're kind of like my first authentic reaction to any new story, new dialogue, new scenes, and everything. So, and I have done this with Xeno before, where I had to re-record a video because my audio just absolutely sucked. So there's that. Stay tuned for more Xeno, and also stay tuned for more Promises to Keep. I know Artemis update came out like a minute, so I'm gonna have to play that eventually. I'll get back to Dawn Chorus and Whodunits. I don't know if I'm almost done with the Whodunit demo or not. I'm not too sure. So I'll get back to those eventually. But for now, we're gonna be playing this. I have no idea what this is about, but apparently, as I was downloading this, I was reading all like any of the updates they talked about this game, and apparently, I guess this will not be touched upon again because a lot of certain scenes and certain story beats from this is really deeply personal to the author. So I'm not going to question that. I'm going to sit back and enjoy the story, and hopefully y'all will enjoy it too. But anyway, let's get started, shall we? And that was Sick Love Kiss by Trist. You listen to KCMU FM, home to all of the latest hits in the Seattle scene. Up next is a song handed to us personally by the lead singer of the band. This is Incandescent by Heterochromia. Okay, let's do it. Let's rock. A Phantom Fan Disc story. Presented by Team Silver Strides. Featuring music by Hanging in Blood, Rhythm Bastard, and Komodome. Or Komodome, I can't read that. Oh! Oh, hell yeah! Wait, I'm moving to this song. Let's do this! Anyway, this is the 6th time they played the song today. The 6th time they told us the lead singer brought it to the studio to give them the CD or cassette with the song on it. The past few months have been a special type of hell. One where all of the sirens seem to just blend together as each new note rings out into the air. I'm not mad that these musicians are successful or anything. Quite the opposite, in fact. It's awesome hearing people my age get respected by radio DJs and all the reviewers and shit. But each imitation I hear just gets on my nerves after a while. Hey! Hello? Oh, sorry, how can I help you? The customer just tosses a CD on the counter. Crunches fill the air as my fingers scrunch up the shrink wrap around the jewel case. Serenade to the heavens, huh? Great choice! 9th time I said that today. I'm starting to think my boss is trying to turn me into a robot with all this repetition. That'll be 1809 after tax. Would you like to bat for this? Instinctively, I pull out one of the small paper bags from under the counter, waving it open as the customer drops a 20 next to the register. I give him his change and he naps the CD before I can bat it up. The bell from the door echoes throughout the mostly empty store as he leaves. The boss is talking with another customer about the few remaining vinyls we have. They point at me, though I don't know why. Whatever I did, it upset the boss. He politely finishes talking with the customer before storming over to me, the pig clenching the edge of the counter. Oh, Jesus. Everett, I told you once, I've told you 1,000 times, you can't bring that fucking guitar to work. He points to my acoustic guitar. Sitting against a bunch of boxes the two of us still need to unpack. If this store had a larger back room, I could hide it, but... Listen, I don't want to bring it to work either, but I'm not getting paid enough to keep my apartment. My rent is skyrocketing. I have to play on the street after work or I'll get kicked out. Not my fucking problem, kid. I'm sorry that shit is happening, but 5 people today asked to buy it. Of course, I have to remind them this ain't that kind of shop. At least hide it in a bag or something like that. This is your final warning. I want to yell back at him, but I really can't afford to lose my job right now. I'm barely screaming by as is. Whatever, it's almost 5 anyway. Just a couple more minutes. The fog from my panting as I run across the street nearly blinds me. I wish I didn't have to play in this weather, but it's all I have until I get a good job offer or some miracle happens. I'm just happy that I'm not much of a singer. My nose is already burning from the chilly air. I doubt my vocal cords would be able to handle a single note. The cold concrete sends a shiver up my spine as I sit down. It's as if I've perched on the top of a block of ice. I pull out my fingerless gloves from my pocket. While I could keep my hands warm inside my coat thanks to the strap of my guitar, it's hard to keep playing after a few minutes in the cold. There's no way I'm taking my beanie off in this weather, so I grabbed a spare bag from the store to lay on the ground. I grab a few rocks to anchor it down, though my confidence in them wanes quickly. Finally, the most important part, my guitar. I accidentally knocked the headstock against the concrete as I swung it in front of me. Yep, there's a little nick in the wood. Sounds like it's in tune still. Okay, how did this song go again? People spare glances as I play, some standing for a couple seconds before tossing a quarter or two. Although some guy in a suit just drops a penny like that'll make a difference. I guess it doesn't help that I'm not singing. There's not any words yet to sing though. I busted this riff out only yesterday while I was waiting for my shower to warm up. Maybe it'll be ready by spring? Though I might have to stop busting for a bit then. Rain always starts around February and stops in... That guy's been staring at me for a while. Just been watching from across the way as I strum each chord. He's kind of cute, not gonna lie. Wait, no, Everett, stop thinking like that. You can't get your hopes up again. Last time you asked a guy out, you ended up with your head smashed against a toilet in a bar. And then on the street when your mom found out. Damn! Fuck your mom. She'd rather throw her own son out than press charges against the guy that nearly killed him. Some mother she was. All Dad said was, "It's weird to focus on guys like that." I strum harder as the thoughts burrow into my mind. Why is it weird, huh? I'd rather you just call me a fucking faggot than dance around the subject. Hey. I know that art style anywhere! It's Mr. Jimmy the Floof. It's Mr. Jimmy the Floof back again. I almost dropped my guitar as the deer's voice snaps me out of self-pity. I can feel my cheeks and ears heat up as he stands in front of me. Thank God for having a lot of fur, for once. The deer's voice is the exact opposite of what I expected it to be. He is not very tall for a deer, but his voice is deep and has a British twinge or cubby in it. I guess that's why he has a Union Jack on his coat. Do we dare do a British accent? I can't do a British accent. I tried, and it's always awful. You know what? I'm just not doing that deep baritone voice I usually do sometimes. That's kind of close to British, although it's more of a formal accent, if anything. What is it? They did say it's like a British twang or cubby in it, like a slight one. So, let's do it. Oh, you don't have to stop. I didn't mean to give you a fright. I just wanted to compliment you on your playing. It doesn't sound like the covers most people out here have been doing. I took a gulp before answering him, trying to hide my infatuation as well as my shot at the critique. Oh, thanks. I wrote it myself, just last night actually. No kidding? It sounds like something I'd hear back home in Blackpool. Blackpool? Oh, you guys probably know it as Lancashire. I know you all tend to use the county names more than the town names. It's north of Liverpool, if you know that. Never heard of Lancashire. Have definitely heard of Liverpool. I'm Curtis, by the way. Curtis Travers. How long have you been playing guitar? Everett. I've been playing about 4, maybe 5 years, I guess. Only started writing original stuff a year or two ago, though. Only a year? Why's that? Let's just say when you work in a music shop and hear the same set list several times a day for a month, it gets a bit grating. Do you play anything? I sing, though I play guitar as well. I'm no good with chords, though. I tend to play lead riffs in my old band. Oh, you were in a band? What kind of stuff did you play? I slowly began to strum again, a bit quieter so I could hear Curtis over the music. The scrape of the pick against the strings is a bit loud, though. Well, we did play some new wave, sort of goth rock-like stuff. I wrote the lyrics and played guitar in it, but eventually... My mates heard about the Britpop scene blowing up, and there were some creative differences. I had to move here for my job anyhow. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry about that. Never mind at all. I'd like to start playing again sometime, though. Curtis pulls his coat sleeve back and grimaces as he looks at his watch. I guess it is getting pretty late. I probably only have an hour left myself. Shit. I gotta run or I'll miss the bus. The deer pulls a card out of his wallet and scribbles something on it before dropping it on my paper bag, along with 2 $10 bills. It was nice chatting with you, Everett. Good luck on your music. Wait, Curtis, I can't take this much! Curtis is long gone before I can finish my sentence. I know this is what I came here for, but I don't feel like I'm $20 worth. Nevertheless, I stuff the cash into my pocket so it doesn't blow away. I take a look at the card Curtis dropped and try to read what it says. His handwriting is a bit messy. Call me if you want to chat some more. Curtis. 555-5510. Wait, what? The Bygones! Tout Card! 1992! The slip of paper Curtis gave me kept me awake at night. The warm shower didn't really help either. I sway into the living room, trying to get water out of my ears. I'm glad it's not a work day, at least. I don't think I'd be able to make out change correctly in this state. I've never gotten someone's phone number like that before, let alone that much money from one person. Was he flirting? Don't be ridiculous, Everett. People like me don't just give out their number like that, I think. I haven't had much experience dating now that I think about it. With the AIDS crisis and all, a lot of people who were once open about themselves around me put up their walls. The one thing I'll give Triss is that their lead singer is openly supportive of queers like me. I may not like their music, but damn, their interviews are great. Curtis didn't really have anything to identify him as gay either. Just a puffy coat and jeans. Maybe it's because he's British? I don't fucking know. Still, he had to have given me this number for a reason. Does he really just want to chat some more? He did say his band broke up. Maybe he just needs a friend or something. Fuck it. I throw my towel around my neck, letting my fur drip onto it as I pick up my phone. Of course, I can't help but play with the phone cord as I wait for him to answer. Thankfully, I got some cheap stools when I moved in so I could sit down while making phone calls. Too bad there's no cushions for them. Hello? I almost fall out of the chair when I hear his voice. Oh, hey Curtis, this is Everett. We met last night while I was playing guitar? Oh, Everett, sorry. I didn't think you would actually call. I was expecting someone else, to be honest. Curtis's voice goes from what sounded like a dull annoyance to a voice full of life. Like a kid at a candy store. I can't help but chuckle. Sorry, I hope I wasn't interrupting something. Nah, no, you're good, mate. The other call is... Well, anyway, why'd you call? I'm a gay-ass lynx who can't help but satiate his curiosity. Well, I was actually wondering why you gave me your number last night. Don't get me wrong, I let our talking all. I'm just slightly confused. Oh, listen, I'll be free in about 2 hours. Do you want to get a cuppa at the South Center? Cuppa? Oh, does he mean grabbing a coffee? Not really my style, but... Yeah, I'm free all day, so... Around 2? Yep, sounds good. Can't wait to see you, mate. The dial tone hits my ears before I can respond. Well, this definitely doesn't feel like a date. I mean, he sounded excited, but not in a romantic way. Still, I'm not complaining about it. The only other things I have to do today are chores and maybe some guitar playing. The forecast said it might rain, though. I start to walk to my kitchen to make breakfast when the phone rings. A deep groan escapes me, hoping the boss isn't calling me in on my day off. Hello? Dad? Not Padre. Dad, I kind of want to talk to you, considering you're still with my mom, who kicked me out for being gay, even though I almost died. Yeah. I do really want to associate myself with you. Cut contact. Hey, Everett. How's it going? I let the silence linger. My towel starting to slide off of my shoulders. Dad's words morph into a muffled mess as anger starts to fill within me. This man... No. This monster has the nerve to call me now? After everything that's happened? Everett? Are you still there? How the fuck did you get this number? Why are you calling me now? I saw you exiting that music store recently, so I asked if you worked there. Once I told your boss I was your dad, he gave me your number. Gave me an odd look, though. I was going to complain that that's not really work safety, but it's the 90s. I'm pretty sure it's hand-waved. Well, my boss is going to get an earful from me on Monday. I understand the odd look, though. I don't really wear my sexuality on my sleeve anymore. Listen, I was just wondering if you want to hang out sometime. It's been a while since we've seen each other, and I want to chat with you. Well, I don't want to chat with you! Everett? The last time we saw each other was when you threw me out after I got assaulted in a bar. What the fuck makes you think I ever want to see you again? Everett, listen. Your mom and I did some talking, and we think we can make things right, like apologize. There's this camp where they help people with unnatural feelings, and... I don't even let him finish. The phone is hanging on the receiver before he can finish his sentence. I can't tell if it's water or sweat dripping off of my fur, but my heart is beating fast and my breathing is shaky at best. The phone rings again and I run to my room, hoping it'll all pass soon. I count to 10, biting my claws as I attempt to calm down. I have to steady myself before I see Curtis at the mall. I already had to act like I'm straight. Putting on an act of being mentally stable on top of that is a recipe for disaster. Fuck, is this even a good idea? I guess I'll find out soon. Gotta get dressed. Well, that was, eventful. The way that Dad casually brought up the cams, no. Yeah, every right you just hanged up right there. I shake the rainwater out of my fur as I enter the mall. Despite the screams of children and loud chatter coming from all the stores, it's more comforting here than in my apartment. There are a few coffee shops in the mall, but I take my best guess and head straight for the food court. Sure enough, I see Curtis waiting for his drink by the counter. The deer wears me over when I attempt to step in line to order my own drink. I stumble over, trying to avoid any other shoppers getting in my way. Damn, you're soaked. Curtis snickers as I squeeze a few more drops of water out from my fur. If I had known Seattle would have had a rainstorm today, I would have saved showering for later. The fur at the tip of Curtis's ears and around his muzzle hangs a bit, but he's not nearly as drenched as I am. He must have gone here early. That or before the storm really settled in. I went ahead and got your Americano. I don't really know what you guys like here, so I just saw something that sounded good. An Americano? What, because we're American? You didn't need to give me anything. I could pay for it myself. And that's why you're busting in the winter cold? The barista comes up with our drinks before I can say anything bad, though it's probably for the best. I have nothing to say to that. I take a sip of my coffee, trying to hide my disdain for the bitter taste. It's why I usually get my coffee with milk and sugar. Can't complain about a free drink, I guess. Well, I don't suppose you have one, but you could pay me back by letting me pinch a fag. I choke as Curtis lets that slip. The deer pats my back lightly as I cough. The coffee irritated my throat. What in the actual fuck was he thinking saying that? Cigarette, I meant a cigarette. Sorry, that was a bad slip of the tongue. It's fine. Just surprise me is all. I do have some cigarettes, by the way. Been trying to kick the habit, though. Curtis smiles, teeth wide. Though I can sense him stifling a laugh. He pats me on the shoulder, as I'm able to breathe again, and points to an empty table that's just been cleaned. How about we sit down? I nod, walking over as the deer tips the barista. It's weird, but everything seems to get louder as I walk away from him. The cheers, the announcements, and of course the music. The mall probably has it on a top hit station or something, but the invasion of grunge even intrudes upon someplace like this. Though the song playing right now sounds a bit poppier than something I hear at the store. God, is that what most of the music here sounds like? My eyes dart to my side as I hear Curtis, who snuck up in my daze. His expression is a bit sour, but I think he's more annoyed than mad. He looks down at me and attempts to act cheery again, though I can tell something is bugging him at the very least. I pull out my pack of cigarettes as he sits down, sliding it to him. Bastard plucks 2 or 3 rather than just the one I thought he'd take. It's sounded like this for a few years now. I didn't mind it at first, but when you work in a music store... Save the rants, I think I get the picture. Just to be clear though, you know that word is bad, right? Curtis's eyes widen as he lights the cigarette in his mouth. He snickers, but the way he does it at least gives off a bit of guilt. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I should have known better. Been called it myself a couple of times. I try to hide my curiosity, but I can't stop my ears from flicking. Curtis laughs, though I can't tell if it's because he thinks it's cute or funny. He stands up, unzipping his thick coat to reveal a shirt with a faded Union Jack on it. The collar stretched down far. I try to avoid looking at his chest, focusing on the guitar pick necklace hanging from his neck. What doesn't help is that he sits back down without zipping his coat back up. I've dressed like this for a few years due to the band I was in. Though our wardrobe was a bit more goth, if you know what I mean. I don't miss putting on eyeliner every day, though. Oh, actually, that's something I wanted to talk to you about. The deer pulls a few jewel cases out of his inner coat pocket, some corners snagging a bit as he attempts to pull them out. He sprawls them on the table for me to look at, his gaze fixated on the CDs as he points each one out. I really liked you playing last night, and was wondering if you have heard of any of these artists. Let me see. Oh, that's cute. This is Priapus by the Burlesque Establishment, a band from back home. They signed to a label a couple years back, but are pretty popular back in England. And of course, one of my favorite albums, Twisted Diagnosis by Hunting Season. A great mix of gothic rock and new wave elements. Oh yeah, I own both of these. Curtis looks up from the CDs, his face dressed with shock before grinning like a child. No fucking way! Yeah, when music doesn't sell well at the shop, our boss usually lets us take some home if we want them. I usually end up reselling some, but I found a few albums I've liked from it. I think I own most of these actually, though I don't know what this one is. I picked up a CD without a cover on it, trying to look at its side to see who recorded it, but the writing is a bit too stretchy to read. Oh, that's a demo my old band and I made. Oh really? I want to hear. Curtis scratches behind his ear before bringing his hands together, twiddling his thumbs. Steely-dee-da-dum. I can tell he's nervous about something. Oh, really? Is it like the other stuff? I mean, kind of? He exhales sharply, closing his eyes as he prepares to speak. So, I know we haven't known each other for long, but you're the only one I've come across who still likes to play, or even admit to listening to this kind of music. Huh? Where's this going? I miss playing music, Everett, so I was wondering if you possibly want to jam sometime? Aww. Okay, that's still just me fapping about. I want to form a band with music like this, and I think you would be a good fit for it. Curtis, I have a few electric guitars if you just have an acoustic. You can borrow that until you get the money to buy one. Hell, I'll even bust with you to see if that helps. I swallow hard. My anxiety is sitting like a lump in my stomach. It's true I would love to be in a band, but this is so sudden and I don't even know Curtis all too well. Though I guess that's a bit hypocritical considering I've been thinking about how cute he is the past day. Curtis, I don't know. I haven't been in a band. We just met and Just say yes, dude. Just take the demo and listen to it, okay? If you still aren't interested after that, you can call me and let me know. And don't worry, I'd still want to be friends either way. Yeah. I slide the jewel case into my coat pocket, hoping that it'll be enough to stop the rain from getting in. When I look back up at Curtis, I notice his worried expression. Though I don't think it's about the band. He's staring right at me. Is everything okay? I should be asking you that, to be honest. You look a bit knackered. Oh, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Bullshit. Is everything okay? It's about my dad, my fuck-ass dad. My dad called this morning. I don't have the best relationship with him. Let's leave it at that. I still don't know if Curtis would approve of me being gay or not. Best to leave out most of the details for now. I shouldn't even be vented to him about this. I getcha. Family can suck. How's about we just walk around the mall for a bit and take your mind off of that? Sure, yeah. I'd like that. We spent the rest of the afternoon just perusing the different stores around the mall. We got hung up in an alternative shop for a bit that I bought a bracelet at. Eventually, we had to part ways. I made sure to guard a demo with my life on the way home. It's dark by the time I get back, though it's somewhat comforting. I'm beat after such a long day. We even ate lunch there. I need to get started on dinner now, though. After shaking my boots off, I turn on the kitchen light. It reflects off of the stereo I have set up across the room. I pause taking my coat off and pull the demo out of my pocket. It's just one track, so I don't think my neighbors will mind too much. I pop it into the CD player and finally take off my coat. An amplifier's whine rings out of my speakers as I take some vegetables out of the fridge. Might make some stir fry tonight. A thick bass starts to play as I turn the stove on. As I begin to cut the broccoli, each chop lines up to the rhythm of the song. Next comes in the drums. It sounds like a mixture of a real drum kit and maybe a drum machine? The guitar joins not too far after, a phaser making it sound like a rocket as everything comes together at once. A main melody begins on the synthesizer, as whoever's playing the guitar turns the phaser pedal off. By now, I've stopped chopping entirely, entranced by what I'm hearing. It's a bit rough, but what demo isn't? Then the most crucial part comes in. Curtis's vocals. In the streets of London, we wander in the night. Forever we're lost in what is wrong and what is right. We're invisible, visible, we're all invisible, visible. The lyrics are a bit corny, but I can tell there's heart in what he's trying to get across. The deep joining of his delivery is what sells it, though. It's somehow rhythmically monotone, hypnotizing you so you're curious about what he's saying. This guy, this is Curtis? This is the person who wants to be in a band with me? I stand in silence when the song ends. My stereo is stopping the CD. My hand is clutching the knife and my fingers ache as I let go, stiff from holding it so hard. I walk on over to my phone, dialing Curtis's number. Hello? Hey, Curtis? It's Everett. How does tomorrow night sound for a jam? 1993! 2 years after the death of Ethel Cain. I turned down the volume on my amp before cutting the power. Don't want another blowout like last time. After playing guitar for so long, I can't help but stretch my arms. Curtis had put away his stuff by now. Guitar already sitting on his stand, and amp lugged into his room. I don't know how he's able to do that so quickly. London, England. How's your new guitar feel, Everett? Not too heavy? Yeah, no, it's just right. Thanks again for helping me get the money. I'll pay you back what I owe someday. Curtis lets out a small snicker and grins with his eyebrow cocked. He crosses his arms after he implodes my aunt for me. You don't owe me a cent, mate. We were playing on the street for you, after all. I swing my guitar, a rather dinned-up Rickenbacker, over my head. It's weird not playing my acoustic, but it's nice to have my own electric guitar for once. I used Kurtz's stuff for way too long. Well, I still use the stuff, I suppose. All the pedals I've been using, minus the tuner, are his. I unplugged the wires out of my guitar and pedal board, stuffing the instrument and gear into my bag. I made sure to cover up my amp as well. Despite it being the tail end of summer, rain has already hit Seattle. I even get nervous that my guitar bag isn't enough protection. Oh, who's this? Who's the character? Wait. Okay, then I'll do my little raspy rune voice. Can't you figure out something with your boss, Everett? I want to play more than just 3 hours a week. That was the wrong voice to give her. Holy shit. Anyway, let's change that up. I turn to Ashley, who's putting her bass away, though I can tell she's doing it slow on purpose. I sigh, trying to stop a grimace from forming on my face. Trust me, I love to play more too, but I've got to make as much money as I can. I gotta buy my own stuff, and well, I've heard of rumors that the landlord might be raising rent again. Seriously, what an asshole! You should just move in with one of us. Oh, no, I shouldn't intrude. I'm serious. I don't think Pat and I were mine, right? Pat lifts up from her drum set, having only put her cymbals away. I run over to help, knowing how much time it'll take her with just one person. We got a diva and a baddie here, fuck yes! She whispers thank you to me as I begin to break down the snare. The Muralette is ironically the most quiet out of us all, despite the fact she was a part of Portland's punk scene. She joined when I offhandedly mentioned Kurtz and I's band at the store and brought Ashley along with her. Thankfully, neither of them are pieces of shit. I'm sorry, I wasn't really listening all that much. What were we talking about? Maybe having Everett move in with you guys to save on rent and free up more time for practice? If that isn't cool with them, I'd love to have you stay over here, mate. I made sure to look away so Everett doesn't see me blushing. It's weird though. Over a year ago, I could swear that things burned more when I found Kurz cute. The warmth is still there, but the fire isn't burning as ferociously as it once did. Oh, well, I don't have any problems with it, but we still have to end practice early. I have my AA meetings after all. Oh shit, you're right, I'm sorry. No, it's okay, there's no need to. A knock at the door interrupts our conversation. The others look surprised, but I know by now who it is. I guess when you have a crush on someone like that, you're hyper aware of this shit. Wait, hold on. I need to read that again. The others look surprised, but I know by now who it is. I guess when you have a crush on someone like that, you're hyper aware of this shit. And that's why his attraction towards Kurz is weighing a bit. Because he's in love with another! Homewrecker! Homewrecker! Well, not really homewrecker. Nothing's ever official. Nothing's official here. So, hey! Curtis opens the door, and sure enough, Sam is standing there. His red fur beams over Kurtz's shoulder, and I can see him stamping out a cigarette on the front steps. He comes into the apartment, walking past the deer before he can even greet the fox. Hey, Curtis, ladies, and, Everett, right? The girls roll their eyes at the way he says ladies, the typical smarmy tone that a lot of hip straight guys try to use to pick up women. I try not to shudder since the fox is looking right at me, his eyes seemingly glowing. Can't tell if it's my imagination or not. Yes, it's Everett. Heard you got a new guitar, man. Can I see it, or... Sam? The fox rolls around to Curtis. His tail almost batted me in the face. I don't think Sam is a bad dude, but something about him just rubs me the wrong way. It causes each action of his to seem like a slight against me. Oh, I read that wrong completely. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. Can we do our business, you know? Curtis tilts his head over to his room. A messy jungle of mixed fashions and paper bags all over the place. The fire inside me is growing, but not in a good way. Oh, yeah, we can do that. Sam tries to say goodbye to us, but Curtis quickly ushers him into his room. My shoulders jerk as the door slams and the lock clicks. Ashley and Pat look at me with sadness in their eyes, as much as I want to ignore it. What? You know they're not doing that kind of business, Ev. I was hoping it wasn't that. Pat was actually one of the first people I told I was gay, after I accidentally caught her kissing a girl at a party. Both of us were shit-faced and sobbed our eyes out as we told each other our stories. She was kicked out and cut out of her parents' will before they passed a couple years back. It made me reconsider my relationship with my dad since he won't stop calling, mostly because I want what's on that will, and I really want the life insurance payout. She pushed me to come out to Ashley, who was straight but took the news of Pat being a lesbian rather well. Her response when I came out was, "Yeah, I suspected you were." Turns out she has a pretty good gaydar. I probably hanged out with them outside of practice more than I hanged out with Curtis. Unfortunately, both of them can see that I have eyes for him, and he is... Curtis can do what he wants. If he doesn't see me that way, then he doesn't see me that way. If they aren't fucking, then they aren't fucking. No, Everett. Why do you think there are so many paper bags in Curtis's room? Why do you think his energy levels have been all over the place? Because he's been doing drugs. I don't know. Typically when I see someone I like, my energy tends to spike. Pat lets out a painfully fake laugh, probably to try to cheer me up. Ashley, on the other hand, lets out an aggressive groan. She has that face she gives before she's about to smash someone. Everett, I know you're not that fucking dumb. Honestly, it's more like you're just ignoring the issue. Ashley pinches the bridge of her snout, irritated at my complacency. My shoulders finally relax and I feel empty. There's no fire right now, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I head back over to my equipment. My knees crack as I stand up. Sitting down on my amp, I fold my hands together, rubbing them endlessly as my anxiety begins to spike. Look, Curtis has a problem, and we need to talk to him about it before it becomes our problem. As soon as we hear the door unlock, we all straighten ourselves up. Sam enters first, and I can see him stuff his wallet into his pocket, though he tries to be discreet about it. Curtis is much more energetic now than when we were practicing. So, I'll see you next week, same time? Depends, I guess. Just call me if you need anything else, okay? Will do, mate. Have a good one. After Sam is out of the building, I grab my own stuff. I'm not exactly in the mood to be here right now, but I also need to get everything home before work. My boss finally forbid me from bringing my acoustic to the store, so I doubt a guitar and amplify. Hey, you sure gotta go, man? I could fix up something for all of us. No, I gotta do my thing some if I don't want the boss to chew me out. Maybe some other time? See you next week, same time? Yeah, next week, same time. A small flutter stirs in the pit of my stomach, but I try to shove it down, just giving the deer a smile as I exit the apartment. I try to ignore the looks on the girls' faces. Listen to the baddies, okay? Just listen to the baddies. The sun started to set by the time I arrived at the music store. I had moved my hours to be later a couple months back, but with having to get my things home, it's a chore to arrive on time. Boss is behind the counter, his head in his hands as I walk in. The store, minus the rows of vinyl on displays, is completely empty. Even the cassettes and CDs have been picked over. We're shut down. Oh, there you are. You're late. I had expected more anger behind the boy's voice, but he sounds tired. No, maybe not that. Sad? Nevertheless, I jump behind the counter and take my jacket off. I checked it into the closet before I sign in. I know, I'm sorry. I was taking my gear home and the bus was late and... Kid, shut the fuck up. Even his swearing sounds wistful. I swallow my words and set the pen down, grabbing a new box of CDs that came in. Now that I think about it, it's very strange that the boss hasn't shelved these yet. Don't bother sending the CDs up, kid. Look, we need to talk. Fuck, I'm not getting fired for being late, am I? I set the box down, straightening my shirt as I prepare for the reprimand I'm about to get. But the boy just looks at me, looking like he's about to sob. I relax myself and place my hand on his shoulder. Sir, are you alright? You know we haven't been selling as much lately, right? All your kids want the latest tech like those fucking CDs and shit. We're losing money by keeping our store mostly vinyl, kid. The boy takes a deep breath. looking away from me as he wipes his eyes with his sleeve. I got a call from the landlord today. We've been behind on payments for months, and it's my fault for refusing to change our fucking inventory. Boss, what are you saying? Fired! Oh dear. Curtis taps my shoulder as I circle another job in the newspaper. While the money is good in an office space, it cuts down my free time and it feels like I'm killing myself. The deer puts the recorder's headphones on. We managed to get it cheap from a pawn shop, but it only came with one set of headphones. Curtis and I have had to practice timing to make sure we don't mess up the recording. His room is a mess with all of his equipment. The dirty clothes everywhere, and especially the bags littered all around. Curtis still hasn't cleaned them up since we held an intervention. I don't know what's going on inside his brain. Maybe he's afraid he'll jab himself with a used needle and relapse? Get an infection? I don't know enough about this drug stuff to fully make sense of this. You ready to record? Curtis has been very tired since his stay. Often being blunt when talking. I've tried my best to get him to open up more, but he always shuts it down. The only time I see him now is when it involves the band in some way. We've started to play live shows at least, although Curtis's energy dips right after we're done performing. Ashley, Pat, and I typically stick around to watch the other bands, but I've stopped looking for the antlers in the crowd at this point. Yeah, I'm good to go. While Curtis is alive on stage, I'm the exact opposite. I can't tell what's going on, but playing the same riffs for so long just makes me exhausted. Hopefully getting the demo out will rejuvenate me. Maybe strengthen my relationship with Curtis again. Curtis taps his feet to the drums after he presses the record button. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Him closing my eyes is my cue that it's time to start playing. I hate not being able to hear the drums. Each note, despite being in sync with Curtis's, feels just slightly off. Like we're just going through the same flow, not actually harmonizing. Still, it's nice to just be in the zone. Working in a cubicle is suffocating, and striking my pick against the strings on my guitar gives me a release after a long week. Everything starts to relax as I let all of my aggression out. Curtis opens one eye, looking at me as I play. A few months ago, I would have been more embarrassed seeing him watch me in such an intimate position, but now? The spark is trying to hold on to the last bit of energy it can muster. I pay him no mind anyway. He's probably just checking to make sure I'm hitting the right notes in the right ways. He's gotten very particular about our playing now that we're in the recording phase. It's hard to believe this is the same riff I was playing on the street a couple years ago. The same one that brought us together. Money-wise, I'd say I'm in a much better state. Emotionally, not so much. We spent a couple more hours recording the same guitar parts over and over, usually because we messed up or fell out of time. By the time I strike 6, my playing has gotten a bit sloppy. I can only play the same part for so long before I get bored. Eventually, we get a take that we both like. Curtis sets his guitar on its stand and stretches, his bones cracking as he stands up. I turn both of our amps off and unplug all of my pedals. I'm about to pack everything up when the deer takes my shoulder. Want a cuppa? I'm hesitant to stay at first, wanting to look for more job opportunities while watching TV at home. Curtis could use the company though, and I really want things to get better again. Sure. 2 cups of sugar in mine. Oh, get on it. I sit by the island as Curtis starts to prepare the tea. There isn't much left in this paper that's grabbing my attention. Maybe I should just cross off the ones that I'm not too interested in? I should grab a new paper on the way home. Still job hunting? Yeah, good money where I work now, but I can't take another day of just drilling over numbers. Got anything good so far? Well, the guitar shop is looking for a new teacher. That might be a good one to do. Curtis looks away from me, though I doubt it's him thinking my playing is amateur. I've written most of the guitar parts after all. It's probably insecurity on his part. Is that it? No, that's the only music job. But there's a managerial position over at the supermarket downtown. Customer service fucking sucks, but it's better than just sitting all day. Which supermarket? Does it matter? I just want to know if it's some corpo job. Curtis, I don't want to work for the fat cats either, but I can't survive without good pay. Whatever. Curtis has done a lot more nihilistic recently. He's always been against the man, but it started to get to a level where it can be hard to deal with sometimes. Fuck the government, I agree, but I don't want to be homeless either. I'm part of the problem, am I? All of us are. Anything else? Well, there is a bartender position up in Redmond, but that might be too far for me to work at. You should take it. I mean, are you sure? I don't think it will be a good idea due to the travel costs. Well, if you work there, I don't know. Maybe we could get a gig? Oh. I'm about to turn back to my newspaper when Curtis hands me a cup of tea. Time fucking freezes. I grab the deer's arm, spilling the tea all over the island. Chunks of fur have fallen out. Patches of stain exposed on the inside of his wrist. Some areas are purple and green as if they've been abused, over and over. There's scars all around his wrists. Damn! I dropped the deer's arm and slid in my chair as I stepped away from where I was sitting. How did I not notice this? Were we so disconnected that I didn't see these bruises and scars? I was playing guitar right next to them not even 10 minutes ago. What the fuck, Everett? Now I gotta clean this all up. When? The deer looks at me, fading confusion. There's an annoyance in his eyes. Irritated that I'm bringing this up. I can feel my fur start to dampen as sweat runs across my forehead. When what, Everett? Don't do this. When did you start using it again? How long have you been shooting up heroin? Curtis breaks eye contact, grabbing paper towels and cleaner as he strolls up to the mess I made. He stays silent, the only sound in the room being my ragged breathing. When, Curtis? For fuck's sake, I started again 3 months ago. Happy? Why the fuck would I be happy about that? I thought you were done with drugs, Curtis. I couldn't stand it, Everett. Curtis turns back to me, pushing his finger into my chest as he starts to talk. You, Ashley, and Pat were all getting along just fine, while I was in the corner cut off from you all. I couldn't deal with the thoughts I was having. Once I talked to Sam again. Wait, Sam? I thought he moved to Vancouver a couple months ago. My expression drops as the realization dawns on me. Sam never moved. Curtis had lied to me. The deer turns back to the tea spill, snorting as he tries to control his emotions. He's shaking, but I can't tell if it's because of our fight or if it's... Sam was the only one I felt like I could talk to. I know now that I could have just brought up to you guys, but I really just felt like all of you left me, Everett. I'm sorry, Curtis. Look, we gotta get you back in rehab. After that, you can't... I don't know, you just stay at my place for a bit so I can keep an eye on you and... No, Everett. The deer's tone is just empty. He sits down, stretching his wrist as he finds the words to say. It didn't work the first time. What made you think the second time is gonna help? Listen, I was a shitty friend. I wasn't there for you. That's why things got bad again. This time I'll... Everett, I appreciate the thought, but we don't know if things will turn out well if I go again. I could get a shitty doctor that pushes me further into this. You could promise me that you'll be there, but you might break that promise. And trust me, drugs aren't the only thing that's fucked me up. Why do you care so much anyway? What is causing you to lash out this way? As much as I want to tell him it's because he's my friend, that would be a lie. Have you listened to the radio recently, Curtis? Huh? Why the fuck would I do that? It's just boring songs nowadays. A couple weeks ago, Trist's lead singer was found dead in their tour bus. His death was ruled a suicide by overdose. I'm trying not to sound preachy or like I'm guilt-tripping him. He doesn't need that right now. Still, I can feel tears forming in my eyes as I try to recall everything. And 3 or 4 nights ago, Cheshire Bond's lead singer was found in their hotel room the exact same way. I don't want to see you in the paper like that, or hear about your death on the radio. I want you to live, Curtis, so we can play music together, so we can hang out. Curtis looks in my direction, but just that. His eyes aren't me and mine, and they're glazed over, like all of my words were just noise passing through his ears. I guess I would feel the same way if I was addicted to something. He's trapped, and he knows he is, but he doesn't want to escape either. I just want to help. Remember, practice is on Saturday this week. Ashley has her interview on Sunday. Don't choose a subject. Curtis returns to clean up the mess. He gives me back my newspaper, trying his best to wring the tea out of it. He doesn't look at me when he hands it over. I slowly walk to the door, picking up my gear as I head on over. I stare back at Curtis as I grab the doorknob. I'll see you on Saturday then. Nothing. I leave his apartment without so much as a goodbye. And that's what we're gonna leave off on today. So this is going in a direction I didn't expect. You know, I was deteriorated a bit when Everett was telling Curtis about the listeners that died due to the same thing. Like, this is about to hit hard, isn't it? God, I am actually in fear for what the next part's gonna be like. And I can't wait to play that soon. I'm actually really enjoying this. I don't know if Everett's parents are gonna come up again, or that's just the end of it. But I don't know. Or at least he actually has a job, so he's making decent money. Well, I can't wait to play the next part. In the meantime, thank you all so much for clicking on this video. If you enjoyed, you can give it a like, and subscribe if you're really interested. I'll leave a link to the visual novel in the description below which I'll play for yourself. And I'm also going to leave a link to the game Silverstone if we're going to check it out, created by the same people as this visual novel. And I'll leave a link to my Bluesky which will support me there as well. And as always, I'll be leaving a link to the visual novel me and my good friend Zid the Red Panda made for the 2025 February Game Jam called When You Were Mine. Please do show your support to it. If you do enjoy it, maybe consider rating it and comment on it on itchio. We love reading those. It makes our day. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.